3D Shark Acrylic Nail Art Tutorial by Hotpinkzebrapolish.
Hi everyone! In today's video I'm going to show you a design that my husband did not think I would ever do in my life because it is a shark. And as some of you may or may not know, I think I have mentioned this before, I have a shark phobia. I do not like them. I don't like looking at pictures of sharks. I certainly don't like anything. In fact, recently I was watching a video that was pretty cool. I like to watch videos of like people jumping off cliffs and like doing flips and stuff because it's amazing. All the different dives that people can do. And this one somebody had edited so that it looked like it was just a pretty basic looking shark. It wasn't even that realistic, but as the guy was flipping into the water, the shark jumps out of the water and looked like it ate him, and I jumped and I dropped my phone and I just about had a heart attack. So doing something with sharks, as soon as Terrell saw this nail, he's like, you did not do a shark. I'm like, I did. But this one, even though he has big teeth and he looks kind of mean, is cute. So I hope you guys like this as much as I do, shockingly. And don't forget to click subscribe to see all my future videos as well.
So to begin with, I'm going to start with an overlay of clear acrylic just to kind of get that base color on. I have a really nice color of Madam Glam gel polish that was the perfect shade of blue for my background. So I decided instead of using a color acrylic for that, I was going to use those gel colors instead. So there is the next little bead just to kind of finish off the nail. I sometimes, depending on what it is, I like to do a single bead and just do like a one bead overlay. Sometimes I like to do two. Depends on my mood. I don't know. I'm going to file the nail into shape with my e-file, starting out with a fairly coarse bit just to remove any bulk, and then going through with a finer bit just to refine the surface texture. So I'm going to be applying 2 coats of fresh water, which, like I said, is a perfect blue for this little shark. It is so bright and summery and kind of detracts away from the evil sharkness there. I applied 2 coats and then a layer of gel top coat over the top of that just to finish it off. And then with some white acrylic, I'm going to be sculpting out my shark. So I used all white acrylic for this. I didn't use any gray. That I did actually with gel polish as well, so you'll see that momentarily. So I'm going to start out with the base layer of shark face, and then I used just the tip of my brush to poke in where his eyes will be and kind of create little eye sockets there. Just do that and then carve in his smile. And yeah, I'm calling it a smile. So just with the tip of your brush too, just kind of press in and make his smile wide across his entire face. Add some more of that white acrylic and kind of pointify his nose. Just bring that up, kind of make it into like I said, a little point, and just sort of blend that out on the sides and then press it in from side to side, back and forth, so it comes to a nice little point coming towards you, like he's swimming right out of the nail and he's going to come get you. Just like that, and kind of blend it down on his smile. And now with a smaller brush, I'm going to be adding his fins and his tail. So first I'm going to start with his pectoral fins coming down towards the tip of the nail. Set those down, and since you are working on top of a shiny surface with that gel top coat, the acrylic will spread, but then you can very easily push it in from side to side. So it's a little different working on a shiny surface than if you hadn't had any gel and you're just working on top of filed acrylic. It's a very kind of a different process. So if you aren't used to this, kind of give yourself a little bit of time to acclimate, and then you might like it better. You know, it depends on the person. I think it depends on what I'm sculpting if it's beneficial or not. For this little guy, it actually does work really well to sculpt on top of that nice shiny surface. So then I'm going to add his dorsal fin, and then I'm going to add his eye. So I'm just going to place down beads of white acrylic. Like I said, I did everything here with white, so just add the 2. I noticed that one of them was quite a bit bigger than the other, so I added more acrylic to my first eye just to even that out. Press in that second one, make sure it is still nice and round. And then after you have that, I'm going to take some more white acrylic and add a pretty heavy little brow on him, so he looks like he's got squinty little eyes, like he's just looking at you. To me, sharks have dead eyes, and I think that's part of the reason why I don't like them. And also, there's so much in the ocean, and there's so much that we don't know about the ocean, that the whole thing just kind of creeps me out. I don't know. I love the ocean. I like to swim in the ocean as long as I know that I'm where I'm safe. But anything else, I'm like, no. Like, I could never be somebody that does like scuba diving or anything too crazy, because I would probably have a panic attack. But then I'm going to add his tail, and then I'm going to go through and I'm going to, like I said, do some painting on him and do his gray coloring with a color called Pretty Liar from Madam Glam. That is a really soft, kind of a beigey gray, which is really the same thing. I saw this color, I'm like, oh, that's perfect for a shark. So this is where my whole shark thing came into play. So just with very thin coats, apply this color. If you do it too much, you're going to end up flooding all of your 3D work, and it's just going to kind of mask it over, and you're going to lose so much. But if you do just really thin layers, which the great thing with Madam Glam is it's so pigmented, you don't really have to do a thick layer of it to get a nice smooth color. So just really thin layers over everything. So around his eyes, kind of down on the sides of his face a little bit, and then on all of his fins and on the top of his tail. So just add that over the top of his tail like so. Don't do like the very little bit of tummy that shows of his tail, but everything else you can go through. Then with some paint, after that gray has cured, I'm going to take and do some painting on his eyes, brighten those up with white, and then with some diluted black and charcoal, I'm going to be adding all of my shadowing and all of my details on my shark. So the reason I'm using diluted paints here and I'm kind of shadowing over everything is because even though this is a cute shark and you can definitely skip this part and just do some outlines, give him some pupils, call it done, give him a smile, I wanted him to have a little bit more of an ominous appearance and give him some nice little foggy shadows all over his face just to kind of make him look a little bit more evil, I guess you could say. So shadow that brow bone, make sure he really does look like he's squinting at you. Nice and dark in there. And then I'm going to take black paint and paint in his smile, just like that. Kind of do the first little layer of his big wide smile, like he's just so happy that he's going to bite your leg off. Just like that. And the other thing that's kind of funny with sharks is I used to spend quite a bit of time in California, and you didn't really hear about shark attacks in Southern California too often, but now all of a sudden, because sharks are kind of making a comeback, which is wonderful for ocean health and everything else, it's really bad for people that are swimming in the ocean, especially in places like California, and well, actually both east and west coasts of the United States. There's been so many shark attacks recently that just that knowledge and things that I've heard recently, I'm like, sharks. So I'm getting a little bit more intensely phobic of them. But then I'm going to go through and do all my outlines with black, add his pupils, add outlines around his face, nice little smile lines for him, add his nostrils, everything just like so, outline his tail. Make sure that really shows up. And then after you have all of that done, you are going to need to go through and add his sharp little teeth. And so the one thing that you could think about with this snail is if you wanted to, you could add like some bubbles in the background, or some rhinestones would look really cool. You could add some little pearls, which to me seems a little bit, odd because pearls are so pretty and sharks are not. But you could, do some ocean things like some little seashell charms and really have some fun with the background too if you want to do something a little bit more decorative on him. Then, like I said, add his little white teeth in there, make them look nice and zigzaggy, and apply some matte gel top coat on top of your shark and cure that, and you're all done. Like I said, I hate this guy, but I love this guy, so I don't know if you guys feel how you feel about sharks, but I hope you think he's at least semi-cute, and don't forget to share recreations with me on Facebook or Instagram, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!